Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Right now we are on the test server, and it's been a minute since I've dropped content from my main account as far as endgame content goes, and I'm going to start doing that more regularly again. But we are on the test server right now. There's a bunch of new champions that just dropped, and there's one champion in particular that I really wanted to showcase for you guys, and it's going to be from like an endgame perspective. It's going to be the peak potential of it as far as endgame goes for PvE and PvP. Now, this champion is a mythical champion, and dare I say the best mythical champion that has been released so far, right? I think it might be. Now, this champion is called Krixia. It is from the Knights Revenant Faction, and as you guys know, mythical champions, they have so many different abilities because they have two different forms here, but she is a support-based champion, and she is a spirit affinity, the green affinity. So right off the bat, I will say she is a little bit mixed of a Yumiko, a Kaimar, a warlord. I mean, there's just so many different champions that got sent to the chemistry lab, and they pretty much just took every bit of a champion, put it into one champion, and we have a Krixia. So I don't really know what the combination I would say of what this champion is, but she is a lot. So starting with the A1 here, we have a double hitter. Each hit has a 50% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on target by 1 turn. Now, this is great because, I mean, in all aspects of PvE, particularly, you can increase the duration of all debuffs, so poisons, HP burn. I mean, it's incredible, right? Clan boss, Hydra boss, Doom Tower, wherever you want to take it, right? It's really phenomenal against the dungeons. It's really great. So that's just started off right there. And for the A2 here, we have a place 50% decreased res debuff and a block bust debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. Also decreases each target's turn meter by 20%. And also, when you book her out, she has the ignore resistance by plus 20%, which is also really helpful. But it's going to be great in PvE, right? Particularly Hydra Boss is going to be helpful for her to place the block bust on all the heads, and then she's also able to put the decreased resistance, which will be really helpful to help your other champions have less accuracy if you want to build it like that, to be able to place the debuffs as well. And even in Iron Twins, it helps to, I guess, decrease the resistance there too. Then you can place more with the lower accuracy per se. But yeah, fantastic A2 right there right off the bat as well. Now, this is where it gets juicy. She has increases the cooldown of all enemy skills by 3 turns. So basically, it's a warlord, right? We have an attack all enemies, removes all buffs from all enemies. Now, the only bad thing about this ability here is if you want to utilize this in PvP, you're gonna get sheeped. Right? You have a chance to get sheep because you're removing all buffs from all enemies. So before you can even go into this, you have a chance to get sheeped. So that's the one downside to this ability here. But it's still nice to have that ability in general, right? It's still really solid. But she has another ability that is, I guess, like what kind of makes her Yumiko, but you can either pick this or that. But I'll get to that in a moment here. But yeah, really cool to have a warlord kit in her ability here. And for the what is this? Oh, that's a metamorph, right? So for the passive here, she has immune to stun debuffs, increases his champion's accuracy by 1 for every resistance they have. Now you can build her in massive resistance, and that's going to get converted to half of that is going to be your accuracy added. So you could really stack her with a ton of resistance, and that's going to be great in arena as well, and it's going to be great in other PvE dungeons or whatever wherever you want to take her for requiring that, like Doom Tower per se. So really solid there. And she does have a huge massive resistance, all resistance of 80 here as the aura. That is a chunk. And let's go over to her other form here. So this is the metamorphosis form, or whatever you call it, metamorph. So she pretty much turns into like a Queen Ava, kind of, right? The wings is kind of reminiscent of a Queen Ava. But as far as her, let's go over their other kits here. So for the A1 here, again, double hitter. Each hit has a 50% chance of decreasing the duration of all debuffs on a random ally by 1 turn. So that's gonna be, it's pretty much like the flip effect of the other one for your team, right? So that's pretty cool too. And for the A2 here, we have attacks all enemies, place a block debuff buff and a 50% increased resistance buff on your allies for 2 turns, and then fill the turn meters of your allies by 20%. So it's kind of a reverse of the A2 on the first form, and really solid, really solid in general. I mean, that's a chunk of buffs that you could just utilize by having your Seer Strip buff, for if you want to utilize her in that aspect. But it's a lot of things going on here as well that could be helpful in a lot of aspects of the game. So for the A3 here, now the other juicy part. Now this is really cool. Removes all debuffs from all allies, then decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion's by 3 turns. Great. So basically it's a Kymar reset, right? That's why I said it's kind of like a Yumiko, because she does it both in the same ability, but she has it on 2 different sides of the ability. But the really cool thing about her is that, okay, so I mean, this is something I did want to talk about before I go into like the dungeon runs and stuff like that to showcase it. This is something I did want to talk to you guys about to show you exactly like the, I guess like the notes I took down from like playtesting. So basically, let's say your team gets locked out, right? You get locked out by a warlord, you get locked out by Yumiko or whatever, right? When she's in her first form, she's gonna get locked out. But the cool thing is, your Metamorphosis is something you could still use, right? And then you go into this ability here to reset the cooldown of all your champions. So in that aspect, this makes her a fantastic arena champion as well as a ghost second to counter the, I don't know, the hegemons if you want, to counter the torments, because then you can remove all the debuffs and then you can also increase the, you know, reset your team basically, right? So in that aspect, really solid. And also against the warlord, against the Yumiko, it's a nice counter to that. Now I'm gonna go into, I guess, a bit more detail later when we get to the arena portion, but that's something I did want to get out of the way. And some other things I do want to mention as we proceed here is, so these are really important, okay? These are key notes that I want you guys to know about this from my playtesting. And the first one here is lockout can weak hit. That's the one bad thing about this original ability that she had from this right here, right? Aside from the she could get sheeped if you're playing it in arena, but because she has a spirit affinity, it can get, if it weak hits, it's not, you're not going to lock out that particular champion. Yeah, like I said, if your enemy locks your team, you can metamorph and then reset all ally skills with A3. And some other key things to know about this champion here is Yumiko will not reset Krixia's reset skill on her second form from the A3. So from her second form on the A3, she has the decrease the cooldown of all ally skills, and if you know, Yumiko can reset each other, right? But this champion, reset will not work on this ability here. It just doesn't. I tried it with the Kymar, I tried it with the Yumiko, it doesn't work. So I don't know, maybe if you have a second Krixia, would that work with this? Maybe, I don't know. I don't have it to test this, so I'm not sure. But as far as I know, Kymar, Yumiko will not reset this ability here. But what's interesting is Krixia does decrease the cooldown of Yumiko's A3 reset, but not the other way around. So that's just something I want you guys to know, because I think that's really vital and really important to know about this champion. And yeah, okay, continuing, let's go to the passive now. We have for the passive here, immune to sleep debuffs in this form, increases the champion's speed by 1 for every 10 resistance they have, stacks up to 50. Like, I mean, that could be huge, right? Huge, really huge amount of speed that you can add there. So in a nutshell, I would say she's a better version of a Kymar. If you're using Kymar with super high resistance and using him just for the sole purpose of resetting your team because you're going up against a lockout or something like that, then yeah. So, but she doesn't need the high resistance per se, even though you will build her with high resistance. But the cool thing is you can also just go to metamorph and then reset without even worrying about anything really. So even if she gets locked out. So that's the really cool thing about her. So that was like a pretty long explanation of our abilities and the stuff that I play tested around with, and I wanted to let you guys know, like key points and key notes you guys should be aware of. But now let's go test her in some runs so you can see what kind of areas or what kind of things you can do with her. Alright, so the first area I do want to show you is just her I guess like some of her abilities and what they look like, right? So let's go ahead and take her to Brutal. Now as far as her damage goes, again, she's a support based champion. I mean, right now I do have her built for damage because I was playtesting her around with Fire Knight, but yeah, that's not really where we're gonna go. But as far as her abilities, I mean, I do have her built in Savage Set right now, so she probably will nuke down this wave. But let's take a look at what her animations look like. So let's start with her AoE here. Okay, I didn't even see the numbers there, but yeah, she did nuke it down there. And let's go over to, actually let's go over to her A1 and see what happens. Okay, so it's just like a joust, basically, right? So let's go over to places. I mean, yeah, I guess we were showcasing the animations, right? So we'll just go ahead and see what that looks like. Okay, all right. And then let's go to Metamorph. Oh, look at that, guys. She turned into Queen Ava on steroids. Okay, let's go over to her A2, her A3. Let's go over to her A3, or A2 on 1 time speed. Yeah, it kind of looks like an Ava-ish ability, right? Kind of. Okay, so that ability didn't really nuke that hard to begin with. Okay, let's go over to the A1. Okay, that's pretty cool. And the last one here. Okay, so I mean, this ability, it removes all debuffs and decreases the cooldown of all her skills, but she can't reset herself, and there's no debuffs on her, so nothing really happens. She kind of, there's actually like no animation there. Yeah. Okay, cool. She's throwing like an ice bolt, and then let's go back into the other form, and we'll end it with a bang. Boom. Can we see the damage? Okay, so 48,000. So, I mean, she is built in Savage, but I mean, you're not gonna really build her to do damage, like to be your nuker per se, right? That's not how you would want to utilize this champion. But yeah, continuing. So I pretty much built her as a resetter for dungeons, for just to showcase in that aspect. So the first area I want to showcase her is going to be in a dungeon for Dragon 10, on stage 10 for Hard Dungeon, and I'm pretty much just using her as a Kymar just for the reset capabilities. So pretty typical composition for speedrunning this, and we have the 2 Staltus here to make it a super fast run. And I mean, the first wave is it's a seer nuke down, reset, seer nuke down, and then we go straight to the dragon pretty quickly. And then I want everybody to die immediately, and then just have it going head to head with the Statuses against the dragon. And yeah, that's pretty much the run. So okay, so the dragon should take the turn here, and then boom, and then we just go head to head with the boss. Yeah, so that's pretty much the run here. So just as you've seen it, like where I would utilize her in this kind of area is just for the reset capability. She's not really there to do the damage, she's just there to reset, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so the next area of the game I'll showcase her is going to be pretty much the same thing, just a different area, different scenery, and it's going to be stage 10 hard for Ice Golem. And yeah, I normally have a Kymar here as well, and it's kind of the same thing as Dragon, where I would just nuke down the enemies waves and then get to the final boss, have them die, and have these two go head to head with the boss, and that's pretty much it. This run might take a little longer. No, it should be like yeah, it should take a little bit longer. Okay, so we have her going first, and then get the seer nuke. Now we have the reset. I mean, the animations are pretty fast. Like her in Metamorph and then going into the reset is actually pretty quick. And all the other guys should die pretty soon here. Now, I do have her built in War Master right now, so that's not ideal, but I don't have to worry much about it because she dies really early, so it doesn't matter. That's not something you want to have against the Ice Golem boss here. That'll be bad. Okay, that's really unlucky because I do have high resistance on him, and he got heal reduction placed, but it's okay. Yeah, typically it's like a 1 minute 5-second run for stage 10 hard Ice Golem. Yeah, we should be finishing around the same spot, I think. Okay, just a little bit over, but yeah, there you go. Got the job done. Okay, so that's pretty much the, I guess, the PvE areas I want to showcase. So yeah, like I said, Hydra is another area in the game where you can really utilize this champion. She's really good there because of her block buffs and that she places on the Hydras. And she's got a lot of stuff going on in her kit. So, and the reset's really nice as well for herself, I mean for her team. So that's another area. And even like Clan Boss, if you want to utilize her there, if you, I don't know, somehow magically Polar, like as a early game, mid game player, something like that. I mean, if you're a late game player, I imagine you don't need her for that kind of composition because you probably got like a unkillable or something. But if you need to utilize it for the A1 to increase the poison count, HP burn or whatever, really good there as well. And even like Doom Tower, I mean, I guess I could showcase. I mean, it's gonna be the same thing I just showed you, pretty much in the dungeon and the ice golem, right? Just clear the ways with Seer, reset, clear the way with Seer, reset, clear the way with Seer, and that's it. So if you guys are curious about how I had her built, well, basically, I mean, I have her built in Savage because originally I was planning to use her for Fire Knight, but then I realized she doesn't build the Terminators like a Kaimar does, and I was kind of screwed there. I was like, maybe, you know, maybe not the best area to showcase her for now. So, but she does have a multi-hitter there, and I mean, I'm sure there's a way to get her to work there if you have your team faster and whatnot, but with the time I have right now, the dragon and the ice golem is what I'm able to show you. But as far as the PvP goes, now this is another interesting area where I found her really useful, especially on the defense portion. If you want to use her for defense, for offense, probably not gonna be as ideal, especially if you have champions like a Yumiko or I mean, mainly because she's going to be, well, if you see a warlord on defense, if you see a Yumiko on defense and they're fast, then obviously you can build her to combat that. But if you want to build her for defense, then you could build her really slow as well for Stone Skin, and I would still build her in Stone Skin even on offense. So I'm actually going to rebuild her right now just to, I guess, show you what I could do with her. And hopefully there are some warlords or some Yumikos or something like that on defense that I could really showcase her with. But these masteries are, yeah, however built at the moment. Yeah, and again, if you are doing Ice Golem, don't use War Master, alright? I mean, if she lives long enough to you attack the Ice Golem and proc, then it's not going to be good. So just keep that in mind. So for now, I'll reset and then we'll have her rebuilt.
A few moments later.
I did redo her gear, and unfortunately, I'm losing so much stats here because I don't have her awakened, I don't have her empowered, so there's no way I can get her to like the level of my Yumiko or my warlord, who are both fully ascended and they are +3 and +4. So those are a lot of stats I'm missing, so I did the best I could with what I had here as far as these stats goes. And basically we came up with 703 accuracy, 333 speed, and yeah, and I have 220 resistance here. So I did want to build her in Stone Skin originally, have her in stacky resistance to go up against, like, to showcase her against like countering the, well, I guess in that sense I don't really need the Stone Skin, even if I want to showcase against like a warlord or Yumiko if I find it, but I couldn't find any on defense. So I just built her like just another basically another Yumiko per se that I would use for arena, just to showcase what she can do and whatnot. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these teams here. And yeah, like I said, it's really hard to find Yumiko. Oh, we do have a Yumiko on defense here. So let's try something like this then. So I guess like the best option I have here would be to have her in Stone Skin actually, and then yeah, we'll save this team for a second. So let's go over to another team first then. All right, so we'll try someone like Odd One here, and we'll just go with our, I guess like a typical team I would use against this. I'm sure I'll be faster, and we'll just slot in the other champion here, and we'll just go with it. I'll put it on 1x speed on certain areas, but I'll just leave it like this for now. Okay, so he's got the Stone Skin there. Okay, so for the first thing here we could do is just lock out their abilities, right? We don't have the best accuracy right now, so there's a good chance he might have resistance on some of these to just, I mean, these are not going to be able to withstand this, obviously, but let's go ahead and do this at 1x speed. We'll remove all buffs from all enemies, and we can also decrease their, or increase their cooldowns of all their enemy skills by 3 turns. So at 1x speed, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we didn't get sheeped, and we did not lock out the Trunda because we are bad affinity. So that is the one not so good thing about this, right? But continuing, let's just go ahead and take out some of these. Let's go ahead and take him out. Okay, we got sheeped. Alright. And let's go ahead and we'll nuke him down and then we'll take out the rest here. Boom. So yeah, what I mentioned earlier, the one bad thing about her lockout is she's a Spirit Affinity. If she was like a Void Affinity, insane, right? Insane. But two drawbacks for that A2 is that she has a chance to get sheeped because she's removing all the buffs off the enemies, and that'll trigger sheep. And then the other thing is she's a Spirit Affinity, so yeah, she's gonna weak land at times. And when she does weak land, you're not gonna be able to lock out champions that are Blue Affinity because that's the bad affinity for her. Moving on, let's go to someone else here. Guess we could try out. I want to try to avoid the Blue Affinities here, right? And let's go with someone else. Okay, I want to save the Cold Brew team real quick. Let's go with yeah, we'll try Virtue then. I'm not sure who this is, but we'll try him. Okay, Shirley, high resistance, so we'll probably not able to lock her off for sure, but we'll attempt it. And we'll go with the A3 again at 1x speed. Let's see what happens here. Okay, they all got locked out. Cool. Let's go ahead and get rid of... Are we going to get a turn? Yes, we are. So let's go ahead and get rid of him first. And we'll just nuke him down. Alright, on to the next here. Let's try Taraku, and we got a Sun Wukong on defense with the Rotos. So Rotos, Blue Affinity, not ideal, but you know, maybe we can lock him out, you know? We'll see. See what happens. So at 1x speed, let's try to lock him out here. Yikes, we did not get the Rotos here, but we can still try to nuke him down. Beautiful. And let's just take our turn. Let's get rid of this guy first. Okay, that's not good. And now we could actually metamorphosis here, reset all our cooldowns, and then just go again, you know? So let's go ahead and do that. Reset our abilities, and then go again. And let's take out... let's get rid of him actually. Alright, for this ability, decreases 50% chance of decreasing duration of all debuffs on a random ally, and we don't have any debuffs. This one here places a block. Okay, this is a sheep waiting to happen. I didn't even check to see if they had the sheep on their champions before going into arena match. Yeah, so I don't even know if who had what. But we can fill our turn meters as well. Chance of getting sheeped. Nope, we are good. And then let's just do this so we can make sure we get our turn in. And now we are for sure taking that out. And then, boom. Yeah, so really solid champion. Very versatile, can do many different things. Can reset when you need it on the fly. Can attempt to lock them out if you're able to. And again, bad affinity, you can weak land, you won't be able to lock out. So that's the one drawback. Now I do want to test against, this is the type of team I was looking for actually, against like a Yumiko, but I'm gonna have to build her in Stone Skin because I want him to lock us out if possible, and then I can go and then I can reset and then boom, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna regear here real quick and get back to you in a second.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so we're back, and this is actually take number 2. I actually did a bunch of arena battles that I wanted to show you guys, and I wasn't able to press the record button unfortunately, so this is a take number 2. But this is how I rebuilt her. Unfortunately, again, she's not awakened, she doesn't have the ascensions as well, so her stats are going to be a lot lower in general. But I try to just build her not like too fast, kind of tanky. I didn't really care much about the resistance or the accuracy here because I just wanted to build her in a way where I can showcase her being able to overcome the I guess getting locked out, and also resetting the abilities for your other champions, which is huge. So yeah, let's go ahead and take her into some battles here now, and we'll go to Cold Brew again, because he's the only person available that I could find that has Yumiko on defense, or like a Warlord or something along those lines. And I mean, there's Jedi, Deadwood Jedi here, but I mean, that's 3-man defense. Okay, Cold Brew, we found them. So take number 2 once again. We're gonna go with this team right here. I mean, it's a very OP composition for sure, but I mean, you can definitely utilize like just go with, if you're building a go second team like with a Necrit, you can have protecting your nuker, and then you can have her in a Stone Skin, and then go with another champion that's very safe like a Duchess or something along those lines, and then you'll be able to overcome a lot, right? Especially getting locked out. But let me first showcase like this so you can see what I mean. And yeah, so we have the 2 Taras here and the Marishka. Again, very OP composition, but we're gonna get locked out, right? All of us, and they are definitely gonna go first because they're faster, and we're pretty slow. But we're gonna cut in afterward with our Krixia here, and we got reset. Yep, and they got sheeped, and he's back. So the one good thing is, like I said, we got locked out, but our Metamorph is still there because we can use that. That is not gonna get locked out. That is a one good thing. And then once we Metamorph here, the second form here, all our abilities are still there. They did not get locked out. And then we have the remove all debuffs from all allies, and then decrease the cooldown of all ally skills by 3 turns. So we're essentially resetting ourselves, and we're able to go and just kick butt, right? So yeah, remove the debuff, and then now we get a turn in, and let's just go ahead and just do this. And this right here, I think this is my weaker tar, so we probably won't one-shot this Siphi. Okay, we did. We almost one-shot the Solus as well, and we'll just finish it off. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea here, and let's just run it back one more time. Let's find Cold Brew one more time. Okay, I'm sorry, Cold Brew, for abusing you like this. But thank you for putting out the Yumiko. I'm sure you had much better defense for sure. But yeah, okay, we got locked out again. Perfect. Everyone's asleep. This is a scenario I wanted to see. And now, at 1 time speed, remove debuffs. Well, first Metamorph, of course. And then we go over the A3, remove debuffs, and then reset the cooldown of our abilities. And we're back. There you go. And then we can just nuke them down, and then boom. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. There you have it. Really fun champion. I definitely hope I get her when this drops. When you guys see this, I think it'll come out very soon in the next update by the time this video launches. Or maybe it will on the same day. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoy the showcase of this champion. This is a champion I definitely want to add to my collection. And I do hope a lot of you pull her as well. She's a fun one for sure. She's like a jack of all trades, really. A Warlord, a Yumiko, a better version of a Kaimar if you want to utilize in that aspect of going second and resetting all your abilities. Along with that, remove debuff is, I mean, that's pretty nice. That's a really nice ability for sure. And like I said, she has a lot of other abilities that makes her special as well, like the block debuffs as well, and the increased resistance. But the one I like more is definitely going to be the first form version, which is the block bust debuff on all enemies, and then the decreased resistance 50% all enemies. And then, I mean, this is irrelevant for Hydra Boss, but yeah, Hydra Boss is going to be great. Clan Boss, I mean, you can definitely utilize that there, and a lot of other stuff as well. And just overall PvE content, Doom Tower, Iron Twins, I can see a lot of areas where she could be really utilized, and she's fun. She's fun. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this showcase. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you do enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be alerted when my content gets put out, because I've been told in my comments that a lot of people are not receiving news or update that my content dropped. But I'm gonna try to upload more content regularly as far as showcasing champions again, my endgame aspect of things, and there's something else I'm going to, another project I'm going to be working on as far as videos goes, that it's going to be different. So hope you guys enjoy that too. I won't say what it is just yet, but just a little bit of a tease there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys enjoy my content, once again, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to drop a like on this video. And make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this champion, Night Queen Krixia. So, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video.